Oh, hello there. So today I'm going to be trying something relatively new. Let me know if you like it. I'm going to take a look at every Awesomenaut character briefly. I'm going to go over their abilities, and then take a quick look on how to play them. No particular order is in place. The first one I'm going to start with is Yuri. Yuri is a Russian space monkey from the past apparently, and his basic attack is a laser that is really low damage but really quickly, and you can upgrade it to do it really far. You can fly around freely, but a lot of enemies will knock you to the ground. And his first ability is an orb around you that slows down enemies for a certain amount of time. And his second is some mines that blow up when touched. You drop the mine, it will fall to the ground, and then when an enemy touches it, it will explode. The enemy can be a bull or a creep or actual enemy. Both abilities have a variety of cool upgrades. The orb can be used for chasing, and it can also make a very good healing spell. I shouldn't say spell, but it makes a really good healing ability. And when upgraded into that, you can heal yourself and others for even more than Voltar can. Just a huge amount. Yuri's mines can be very useful. Mines have a few things that you can do with them, lots of fun things you can do with them, like bouncing mines, but perhaps not always the most damage. But they can really annoy enemies. Being able to fly can get you out of tricky situations, although lots of heroes can easily knock you to the ground. The laser is a very different normal attack that can be quite powerful. There's a few things about it that are interesting actually. First off, there's the disadvantage that you cannot move at all while using it, unlike the majority of normal attacks that other heroes have. But with that trade-off, there are a couple of advantages. First off, the beam will always pick up gold for you, so it's perfect for sitting back and killing creeps. And finally, it's also worth noting that the laser has a huge range when upgraded, so you can sit back and kill from afar. This is perfect for actually just like pushing creep waves. So you just sit back from afar, laser those creeps down, take their gold, and if you see someone, you can just run away. It's not exactly the most courageous way of playing, but it can be very effective. The next hero we have to look at is Voltar. Voltar is a mysterious scientific genius of sorts. It looks like he has a brain in a jar. His basic attack is actually a heal. Unlike everyone else in the game, his basic attack won't damage, it will heal your friends. And his first ability is some little floating droids. This is actually how you can do any kind of damage in the game. You need to have your droids out as much as possible. They will be floating around your head. You have 2 by default, and they can be upgraded to be 4 at max. And they will damage everyone around you, and they will do things to everyone around you depending on your upgrades. And your second ability is actually a healing turret. This seems kind of redundant by default, considering you actually heal people yourself, but it is extra healing, plus it's the only way you can actually heal yourself. So it's very useful. Voltar is a pretty good healer in general, but it seems to me that Yuri actually has a better burst heal with his bubble, like I already mentioned. The thing is, Voltar actually has some pretty nice offensive capabilities. You can upgrade your turret to do damage, and you can upgrade your bots to do quite a bit of damage. You can also go for a very supporting route by making use of heals as well as knockbacks. You can upgrade your basic attack to actually knock back enemies, and you can upgrade your turret to do that as well. One of the best upgrades this guy has is the blind for your droids. They will blind enemies on sight, and it's very useful for both offensive and defensive capabilities. Some people don't like Voltar's playstyle and find it a little boring, as it's mostly healing for a lot of the game. I don't mind it at all. I actually enjoy it quite a bit, but it's a very passive style, so you should keep that in mind. Next up is Froggy G, who is exactly what his name would indicate. He's straight out of the pawn ghettos of Rivet 4, and his basic attack is a normal gunshot. That's pretty short range by default, but his dash will stun enemies, which is his first ability, and his tornado by default, damages enemies and will just turn him into a little mode where he twists around for a few seconds. Froggy's dash is very powerful when upgraded, and the stun can win fights for you. Froggy's tornado can be whatever you want it to be actually. You can upgrade it with some very defensive capabilities to go really tanky. You can put yourself in a shield while you're in it. You can upgrade it to escape by upgrading speed boosts and going really fast once you're in it. And you can upgrade it with some damage to make it a really powerful weapon. And then use maybe your dash as the escape. The basic attack can be upgraded in a few different interesting ways, and you can check all those out, but it's a pretty simple attack. I don't have much to say about Froggy other than he just has a really fast playstyle with some really cool, powerful abilities. He is really fun to play. I would suggest trying him out. Next up is Leon. Leon is a French Charmeleon and a criminal mastermind. His basic attack constitutes a powerful melee attack, and his first ability does two things. One, it makes you completely invisible until you attack, and two, it makes a clone of you. Your second ability is a tongue that can pull enemies towards you. Leon is a very versatile and powerful character. His basic attack can be upgraded to do a lot of damage. It was recently nerfed, but it's still extremely powerful. His first ability can be upgraded to make heavy use of stealth, or you can upgrade it to make your clones walk and attack. This last part can be very useful for pushing towers, if you need to do that. His second ability, which is the tongue, can be upgraded to be very useful for starting a fight or ending a fight. It can be upgraded for extra length, and then you can just grab people from a long way away. It can be upgraded with a silence, or it can be just upgraded with some nice damage, so you can use it as part of a fight and get kills with it. Overall, Leon is a sneaky, backstabbing bastard, and I'd go with playing him if you like that kind of playstyle, like rogue kind of playstyle. The next hero we have is Durple Zork. Durple is a rich idiot with access to some crazy technology, which he uses to have this suit of his. His basic attack is a cat shot, which is what it sounds like. The cats jump forward on the ground and hit enemies. His first ability is a trap. Any player, creep or bull, will be trapped for a bit when they touch it. I mentioned that the bulls will be because Lone Star, who we'll mention later, actually has a bull, and that bull will be affected by a lot of things in the game, so you have to make sure to watch out for that bull when you're trying to use one of your abilities on another player. Your second ability turns you into a turret that, while extremely powerful, makes you stay in place. When in turret mode, your first ability is transformed into a nuke that will track the closest enemy. The nuke can be extremely powerful when upgraded, and can easily clear waves of creeps or get big kills on enemies. Unfortunately, it's not always very controllable, and will sometimes go completely opposite direction of where you wanted it to. The basic shot you have in turret mode is really powerful, but you have to be careful when switching to it, as you will be stuck in place for a couple seconds. This can land some nice kills for your enemies, so to counter that, you'll either want to be extremely careful about your turret placement or invest in some heavy defensive upgrades. There is an upgrade for the turret that will increase your shielding. The cat shot itself is not amazing in its basic form, but you can upgrade it to be pretty nice. Lastly, your traps are very useful. They can be placed to trap people and make kills, or they can be used upon running away to make a getaway. It will trap your opponent and they will not be able to chase you. Simple as that. I usually place a trap or two down around me before I enter turret mode, just so if I need to exit it and run away quickly, I'll be okay. Overall, I think Durple is probably the most complex Awesomnaut, so keep that in mind when playing. Next up is Lone Star the Cowboy. Lone Star's basic attack is a normal gunshot, and he can double jump or triple jump with an upgrade, so he has some pretty good maneuverability with that. His first ability is Dynamite, and it can be thrown through the air and explode on people. His second ability is a Bull that will run through the air and knock back enemies in its way. Now I got some advice for playing this guy, and that was to focus on one thing early game. You either focus on Dynamite, your Bull, or your normal gun. This is in terms of upgrades. You pick one and you just upgrade that to hell. This has worked really well for me. I just generally pick one of them each time and go from there. I suggest you do the same. If you start with the gun, you will pack a pretty powerful punch and should use it to intimidate enemies. If you start with your Bull, then you can use it to push everything away from your towers, or you can use it to push the enemy towers pretty well. The Dynamite is very interesting. It can also pack a powerful punch, and I'm even sure there's a DPS top lane way to build it. But what I love about it is that it can do a bunch of different cool stuff. You can upgrade it to pretty much however you want. You can go for pure damage, you can make it bounce, you can make it do AoE damage, or you can make it blind everyone. It's really up to you, and it's really fun that way. It took me a while to warm up to Lone Star, but he's actually amazingly fun to play. Next we have Clunk. Clunk is some kind of angry robot built to fight crime, and his basic attack is a missile. His first ability is a life-stealing bite, and his second ability is an explosion that will damage yourself as well as people near you in a little bubble around you. So Clunk is probably my least favorite character actually. This is mainly due to the fact that he is slow, and as per his name, clunky. This reduces the fun a little for me, but your kind of playstyle will probably be different from mine, so you might love him. While slow, Clunk is extremely tanky. If you know what you are doing with him, it should be hard to die. The bite attack can be hard to set up, but it will heal you and can be upgraded to make you even more tanky. Your explosion attack is very powerful, but can be easy to avoid due to your speed. Due to that, you'll probably want to upgrade something that will help you with that. So I see two good options, one being the option that slows down enemies, and the other being the bite upgrade that traps enemies so you can bite them and then explode for kills. Overall, I don't think Clunk is a very versatile hero. You are a tank, and your options lie in either being more tanky or more damaging. I've already said that I don't like it too much, but that might be great for you. If you actually like being really tanky, then you might love this guy. It's not like I completely hate him, I just don't like playing him as much as pretty much the rest of the Awesome Nauts. Finally, we have Coco. Coco is a newer Naut that enjoys a good surf. She is the game's second melee class, and her basic attack hits whatever is in front of her. Her first ability is a ball that you launch and then you can explode at any time, so you click the ability button once and then again whenever you want it to explode. You can set up some cool stuff that way. Second ability is Blaze, which leaves a blazing trail behind you, and it will hurt anyone stepping in it. Due to her lightning ball, Coco's main role in a team is as a harasser. Lots of players will easily dodge your ball when they see it coming, and so they won't necessarily be getting a lot of kills, but you will be able to keep them on their toes. Basically, this character should be played with the goal of annoying the living hell out of the other team. If you keep that in mind, you should play this character very well. The other role that she can play is very interesting as well. Now, Coco's melee attack isn't nearly as powerful as Leon's and cannot be upgraded to be as powerful as Leon's. The only exception is that she has an upgrade that will boost her damage to turrets by a bunch. This can make Coco really good at pushing and taking down towers quickly. So that's a secondary role, but her main role you have to keep in mind is as a harasser. What actually supports both of these roles is her Blaze move. Blaze can be upgraded to do a lot of slowing, a lot of damage, or a lot of speed. I would suggest going for at least some speed in that. With Blaze, with a speed boost, you can easily just go, harass a bit, kill a tower a bit, and then run the hell away, and they will not be able to follow you because your Blaze will both speed you up and slow them down. It's pretty nice, and if done correctly, you should rarely die as Coco. Now, if all that sounds fun to you, if you like to be a harasser kind of character, Coco might make a really good playstyle for you. So that's all the awesome Nauts. I generally enjoy the majority of them. Even though I said I didn't like him very much, I still enjoy Clunk, actually. All the awesome Nauts have so much character, they all have awesome abilities, and personally, I play the game on random. I think that's the best way for me to play because I love them all, and I don't care which one I play, I just want to play the game. I hope, however, this video gave you a good idea of how you would like to play your game. So I hope you enjoyed. If you'd like to see more content like this in the future, please subscribe and let me know. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I'll see you next time.